إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Azza wa Jalla. Today being the 21st day of Ramadan, 1445 years after Hijrah of the Prophet ﷺ from Mecca to Medina, which corresponds to the 31st of March year 2024. Today we hope to dedicate it for question and answers. So if you have any question pertaining to what has been discussed before this time, or even question outside the discussion, you are free to ask them. And like I've always mentioned, if we know the answer, inshallah, we will respond. And if we don't know, we will not hesitate to tell you that we don't know. And inshallah, we will ask those who know so that we can deliver it, inshallah. So we will only be attending, we will give priority to questions that are written before questions that will be asked orally, inshallah. A question here is before me. It says, Assalamu alaikum. My questions are three. Was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam married to two daughters of Sayyidina Haritha at the same time? I don't know who is Sayyidina Haritha. Perhaps the person intended Sayyidina Usman radiallahu anhu. Sayyidina Usman married the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu, two daughters of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who are the Okay, they are daughters of Harith. So he's asking whether he belongs to only one. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Okay, I think I got the question very wrong. He's actually asking whether the Prophet ﷺ married two daughters from the same man. No, there was no such thing. They only have the same name. Number 2 says, while you were talking about divorce, you mentioned how people used to replace wives. Is such replacement permissible in Islam? In terms of talking about whether it is permissible or not, I do not know any reason why it should be haram. I hope we understand that. In Suratul Nisa, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned such practice when He said, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتُمْ إِسْتِبْدَالَ زَوْجِ مَكَانِ زَوْجٍ وَآتَيْتُمْ إِحْدَاهُنَّ قِنْطَارًا فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُ شَيْئًا أَتَأْخُذُونَهُ بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا. Those children that are playing, they are distracting me. So looking at this particular verse in Suratul Nisa, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتُمْ إِسْتِبْدَالَ زَوْجِ مَكَانِ زَوْجِ. If you wish to substitute, to replace a wife in place of another wife, and you have already given big money to one, then you are not allowed to take that money from her anymore. So I see no reason to indicate its impermissibility. But we must know that we have to fear Allah Azza wa Jalla when we are dealing with marital issues, so that we will not put the other party into sorrow as a result of the fact that you have abandoned her. So like I've already mentioned yesterday, divorce is halal, is permitted. So if there is a reason why divorce should take place, then there is nothing wrong if divorce should take place. And if you choose to replace after the divorce has taken place, there is nothing wrong with that. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Another question here says, why did Allah say وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ instead of وَيَقُولُ الشَّيْطَانُ in Suratul Ibrahim, when it is a future event that Allah was narrating? The Quran has its balagha. The Quran has how it used to express its speech, which is the speech of Allah Azza wa Jal. So questioning Allah, who is the author of the Arabic, is like telling the Oyibo people why A should come before B and why B should come before C. Why can't we say, instead of A, B, C, D, E, F, why can't we say Z, G, M, R, S, B, G? So, Wallahu A'lam, Allah Azza wa Jalla knows the reason why He used وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانِ. There are so many pronouns like that, changing of pronouns like that in the Quran. And Allah Azza wa Jalla, it is His speech, and He is the author of the speech. This one said that Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can someone in fasting pour water on his or her head when he is feeling heat? Yes, you can do that and your fasting is intact. And there is nothing to suggest that your fasting has vitiated. I hope we get that. So you can even go and swim to cool yourself. You can bath. Although some of the ulama said it is makruh, but there is nothing indicating that it is haram for you to do that. You can pour water on your head. You can go on swimming. Just make sure that you don't allow water to go through the openings. Somebody asked a question some time ago when he said that when we are talking about adoption, and he said, what if a child is found and we do not know who the father is? So how do we relate the child? And if there is need for documentation, how should that child's name be documented? Are we going to use the name of the person who found the child? No, you will not use your own name. You will just put there Abdullah. You can just put there Abdullah, meaning the son of the servant of Allah. This is what Bin Baz rahmatullah alayh This is how he answered the question. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Somebody is asking a question here. He said, Assalamu alaikum, Ustadh. If someone divorces his wife and the wife is on her iddah to talaq, unfortunately, as the process, the husband died, is the wife still going to do the iddatul wafa? Explain, please. Jazakallahu khairan. I think this question was asked before, and I said that I do not know. And I went to search for answers. From what I got is that this particular woman has it's either of two cases. You know, talaq, there is revocable divorce and there is irrevocable divorce. At-talaqu marratan. The revocable divorce is only two. If your husband divorces you and you are on your iddah, he can still take you, can still reverse back the divorce. I hope you understand. If he still divorces the second time again, he can still what? You can still take her back. But the third time she's going, you can't take her back anymore. So that is what I mean by revocable divorce and irrevocable divorce. Now, if this woman who is divorced is one that is talaqur raj'i, bimana revocable divorce, you can still take her back, is still within that period where you can take her back, is the first and the second, then she is still your wife. Yes, she is still your wife, even despite the fact that you have divorced her and she is in her iddah. At that particular time, she is still under your custody. Then if you happen to die, she will inherit you, because you are still considered to be his wife. She will inherit you, and you will do the iddatul wafa. That is the 4 months 10 days. You will do it. But if it is that it is an irrevocable divorce, bimana you have already tell her to go, the third divorce, and she is in her iddah, that iddah is not an iddah of, how should I put it, a reconciliation. The iddah is only to ascertain whether the woman might be pregnant, so that she will not take the child to another man, to ascertain that the whole place is empty. And if it is even understood that the man did not meet her for quite some months before that divorce, then there is no point in her waiting, she will just go. I hope you are understanding this. Then in that case, if this man should die, she has no need to do any iddatul wafa. She will just go back to her home after finishing the iddatul talaq. And I've already told you that the iddatul talaq is only to ascertain that the womb is what is free, so that she will not leave the house with a baby to another place. And if it is found out that she is pregnant, then that iddah will be until she delivers the baby. Once she delivers the baby, she can go. Wallahu ta'ala alam. This is how it has been explained by Sheikh Salih al-Munajjid. Wallahu ta'ala alam. I think these are the written questions before me. If there is any other question, inshallah, we can start responding to them now. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Now, فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع.
The question there is that the other people, what I mean is that not who are now they used to call prayer before the commencement of that is two prayer before
No.
but the other sinners is only when the imam is seated and when the imam is about to start the prayer.
No.
Then Allah said we should, when we hear the call of prayer, then we should go to
The masjid.
in this issue. How is it now then that the hadith is now telling us that about the one who was here before the now how the word is being arranged, the word of camel, cow, ram, and like that. So is it that it is that one calling two prayers? Is it the one that is right or?
He is asking a question regarding, although his question is not straight, he's just doing like this, like snake. He said that the Alubidia, is it the Alubidia you mentioned just now?
Yes.
No, he said the people who are not Ahlus Sunnah, I think that's the way you put it. He said the people who are not Ahlus Sunnah, they used to call prayer 2 times on the day of Juma. There will be first call, then there will now be second call. But the Ahlus Sunnah, they always used to call only once. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said that Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu idha nudiya lis-salati min yawmil jum'ah fas'aw ila zikrillah. That when you hear the call to prayer on the day of Juma, you should hasten to the zikr of Allah. So he is now asking that is it the first call that one will hasten to, or the second or the second call? And he now further say that there is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that mentioned the virtue of going to Salatul Jum'ah on time, where the Prophet ﷺ said whoever goes early is like somebody who has what? Is like somebody who has given a camel as sadaqah. Whoever goes in the second period is like somebody who has given cow. Up to the time it says whoever goes in the last period is like somebody who give bayda. What is bayda? Egg as sadaqah. Now he's saying that which one is right? Is it these people that used to do first call, only one call, or those who used to do two calls? Both of them are right. In the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was only one call. It was only one call. And that was because people were not as many during that period. You understand what I mean, ba? So when it was now the time of Sayyidina Usman radiallahu anhu wa arda, as it has been reported, Sayyidina Usman radiallahu anhu was the one who introduced the practice of the first call. And all of the companions, they agreed with him in that, because the Ummah was expanding. So there was need for the first call to give alert to the people. Can we say the action of Sayyidina Usman is wrong? No. Can we say it is bid'ah? No. Is it correct? Yes. How? because he is Sayyidina Usman. He is one of the Khulafa al-Rashidun. He is one of the guided caliph. And our messenger has told us to follow them. And when he introduces this, the companions who are the Salaf, they all agreed with him. There was no one who disagreed with him. So for that reason, we follow him in that, because the Prophet ﷺ has already told us to follow them. I hope you are getting it. So it is not the issue of, it is the Ahlus-Sunnah mosque, or people who are not Ahlus-Sunnah that call first or second. There are masajid who are Ahlus-Sunnah and they call, what's it called? They used to call prayer twice. In fact, as far as I'm aware, initially I used to hear that the Muazzin here used to call twice before in this masjid. I don't know, later on it seems we later stop. I don't know. I was one. Really? I don't even know. So it's not all about Sunnah mosque or not Sunnah mosque. It's all about what Sayyidina Usman did. If you are also in that situation, then you can follow him in that. I hope you understand, ba. Now the question is, which one are you to hear that will now imply that you should follow, you should apply this verse? Abi?
How do you attain that reward?
Okay, okay, I understand.
When you rush from your business to university,
let me answer it in this way. I was talking about which one should you actually work with in regards to what was mentioned in that particular verse. Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha nudiya lis-salati min yawmil jum'ah fas'au ila zikrillahi. What is the zikr of Allah here? What is the zikr of Allah here? Is the khutbah. So what time do the khutbah start? The second azan. So that is the one you are asked to what? You are asked to hasten to go for. Now you are asking now that which period are we supposed to rush? Is it the first call or the second call? There is not all about the azan. When the Prophet was talking about the period in which you should quickly go to Jummah, it is not a condition of azan. There is no condition of muazzin calling prayer. It is all about you rushing to prayer on time. You can go to Salah to go and even wait for another Salah that is about to come in, even though the muazzin has not called prayer. For example, the time that the muazzin called prayer by 1 o'clock, by Zuhur, is, let's say, 1 o'clock. And you now decided to go and stay in the masjid by 12:30 to wait for Salah. You Allah said, Hafizu ala salawat. You now decided to go and wait. Then you have actually attained a big reward. It is not a condition that the muazzin has to call prayer before you start rushing to Salah. I hope you understand that. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, he is asking that in social media we do see certain materials that are purported or claim to belong to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Like today I saw one, a grave and it was mentioned in the picture, the picture of a grave, and they said that it is the picture of the, the grave of the mother of the Prophet Sallallahu. In most cases, these people are just lying. It's the function of either the Shia or the Sufi people, because they are the one known to be propagating some of these things. You hardly see any Sunni who propagates some of these things. And in most cases, they are lying. They will say that this is the Prophet's shoe. I don't know how the Prophet's shoe is still able to survive up till now. You understand? They will say this is the Prophet's sword. Sometimes is what? His shirt. They will say this is the Prophet's rag. So we do not have any reason to accept or reject them. But even if it is the Prophet's shirt, so what? What should we do about it? So some of these things are perpetuated by all the Shia and the Sufi in order to go extreme in their beliefs. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. So when you see something like that, ask the person who posted it, please, how did you know it is the Prophet's shoe? If he said that he did not know, that he only saw it and he also reposted, tell him to fear Allah and post only that which he can be able to defend. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Somebody is asking a question here. He said, what is the meaning of nifaq? Nifaq means hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Bimana, you profess outside what is different from inside. That is, you show to people outside something that is not inside. So that is hypocrisy. That act is called hypocrisy. And one who does that is likely to be a hypocrite. So that is the meaning of nifaq. So nifaq means hypocrisy. Number 2 said, what is the meaning of fi sabilillah? Fi sabilillah means in the path of Allah, in the way of Allah, in the guidance of Allah. So when they are collecting money and they say fi sabilillah, what they are actually saying is you should do sadaqah in the path of Allah. So perhaps this person is asking because they usually say fi sabilillah, fi sabilillah. So fi sabilillah means in the path of Allah. Number 3, this person is saying, why do we have to repeat if an imam is reading from Suratul Ahzab when he says Sami Sabbi Isma Rabbikal A'la, we will now say there Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Why do we have to say that? That is because the Prophet Islam instructed us to say that. He said when the imam reads Subhana Rabbi Sabbi Isma Rabbikal A'la, the Mamun should say Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Not only that one, even Subhana alladhi asra bi abdihi min masjidil haram ila masjidil aqsa. That is Suratul Isra. So when the Imam finished that first verse, you also say Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Even in Suratul Qiyamah, in Suratul Qiyamah, the last verse, when the Imam finishes the last verse, you will also say Subhanaka Fabana. Subhanaka Fabana. So that is the reason why we say it. If you want to know where it is written, you can open your Suratul Suratul Nabi written by Sheikh Nasruddin Al-Albani. It has been explained there. This one said, may Allah, assalamu alaikum, may Allah increase you in beneficial knowledge, Ameen. Please, madam, a child that was born after dowry was given to the mother. A child that was born after dowry was given to the mother. Can he or she be considered a bastard? Or rather, what is the actual concept of bastard in Islam? Perhaps maybe this person did not write it well. Do you mean to say before or after? Because if it is after dowry, nikah is already established. So maybe the person wants to say before. But if it is after, this child is not a bastard. Because the child is born within wedlock. I hope we are understanding that. Cool? Then if you also say before, before the dowry is paid, we will still ask, because there is an option of delaying dowry, payment of dowry. So if it is within this case, then the child cannot be bastard. But if it is zina that brings them together and the child is born as a result of that, then the issue of bastard will come into play. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. He said, Prophet Muhammad has 5 names, and I've only heard Prophet bearing Muhammad and Ahmad. Can someone name his child after any of the remaining 3 names? For example, Mahi, for example, Hashir, for example, Akib. Yes, of course, they are good names. And there are so many people that have been bearing Mahi now. Some are bearing Hashir. Even Akib. I know of a brother who is Akib. So though these 2 are the popular names of the Prophet, that is Muhammad and Ahmad, that does not mean that the others cannot be. Like the name of Allah Zul Jalali wal Ikram, how many people used to bear that one? There are so many names of Allah that many people hardly bear them. So it does not mean that we cannot bear them. It's only that perhaps it is not very popular. Like the name of Allah that is popular that people normally bear is Allah, Abdullah. Is that not so? Abdullah, Abdurrahman, Abdurrahim. They are the most popular. So you can bear the Prophet's name and you will not be blamed. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Alaykum as-salam. Now, we have to follow Salah in the morning, the first one and the second one. What can we use to call the second one first? And why do we have to choose to call Salah? Because we have any evidence logically. That question is in the Khutbah, we used to do. Although I was once, I had something related to it from you before, but it's not much for me to present as evidence. Now, Khutbah, some people used to do the Khutbah and just come and read the Khutbah and pray. Some, after reading the Khutbah, they will not translate, whether in English, and after that, they will pray. Which of this is more authentic, and why do we choose that? The first question he's asking is regarding As-salatu khayrun minan nawmi. That is the first question. So why are we calling As-salatu khayrun minan nawm as the first one and not the second one? Because some masajid, they used to call As-salatu khayrun minan nawm the second, as it is traditionally known from our people. These children that are disturbing, no, none of their mother is here, Abi. Now the answer to that is this. There is ikhtilaful ulama as regards that first question regarding as-salatu khairum minan nawm. There is ikhtilaful ulama. Some of the ulama says that as-salatu khairum minan nawm should be the first. Some said it should be the last. Wallahu ta'ala alam. I believe those who say that as-salatu khairum minan nawm should be done in the first period, they are most likely to be correct. Why? Because let's work it together. What is the meaning of as-salatu khairum minan nawm? Meaning salah is better than sleeping. Bimana, you are actually trying to wake somebody who is sleeping. So the sense denotes that you should call this prayer the first time to wake the person up so that he can get ready for salah. That is why you are telling the person as-salatu khairum minan nawm. Now somebody who has already wake up, you are still telling the person as-salatu khairum minan nawm. Okay, let us even leave that one, because somebody may say that this one is just your right, it's just your opinion. Who used to say as-salatu khairum minan nawm in the time of the Prophet sallallahu is Bilal bin Rabah, as it has been indicated in several hadiths. And Bilal bin Rabah, it has been stated that Bilal bin Rabah, he is the one that used to call the first prayer, like I have already mentioned. He's the one that used to call the first prayer. That is Bilal ibn Rabah. And Abdullah ibn Maktoum is the one that used to call the second prayer. And it has been mentioned that Bilal ibn Rabah is one that used to say these laughs of as-salatu khairum minan nawm. So if we should understand it in that manner, that will now mean that as-salatu khairum minan nawm is being called first before the second one. Where can we get this? Where can we get this evidence? Go to the book called Tafseer of Suratul, written by Abu Malik. It has been explained there. Also, you can also take the Sharh of Sahih Bukhari, Umdatul Qari, in the chapter discussing Azan. It has also been clearly stated there, although they also, acknowledge the fact that there is differences of opinion in that. Then your second question is okay, regarding the hutubah, that some people used to do pre-hutubah. After they do pre-hutubah, then the imam will only go ahead and read the Arabic without translating. But some will read the Arabic and also translate. All of these stems from the fact that some people believe that since the Prophet ﷺ, his khutbah is in Arabic, so our khutbah must also be in Arabic. Especially the Malikiya, this is what they believe. Because khutbah is an act of worship, so it has to be done in the way and manner the Prophet ﷺ did it. So for that reason, they do not believe that doing khutbah with another language is permissible. Since you cannot also begin to translate your salat. For example, you want to come and pray now, instead of say Allahu Akbar, you say Allah is the greatest. So they said it is the same. Since you cannot begin to translate salat Allah is the greatest, then you cannot also begin to translate khutbah. So it is for this reason their khutbah is always in Arabic, especially those who are following the fiqh Malikiya. Their khutbah is always in Arabic. So they now introduce, they are trying to run away from one and they now entered another one. When they now see that, okay, if you said it is only going to be Arabic, what happened to people who will not be able to understand? Because the essence of khutbah is for people to learn. So for that reason, they now introduce the pre-khutbah, so that they will first of all translate the khutbah. After they translate the khutbah, they will now ask the muazzin to go and call prayer. After the muazzin has called prayer, the imam will now start his original khutbah. Then some of the other ulama now said that this is a bid'ah, because the Prophet ﷺ did not do pre-khutbah. Yes, the Prophet ﷺ did not do pre-khutbah because all of them are speaking the same language. I know of a brother, because of the issue of pre-khutbah, he doesn't used to pray in a particular masjid just because of pre-khutbah. He said this is bid'ah. For that reason, he's a brother from Nupe in Niger State, where we school together. Just because they used to do pre-khutbah then in Fort Mina, he does not pray Jumat there. So this is better. So this is what caused all of this. So some now said, instead of that, why not we speak Arabic in the first half, then the second half we translate, so that we will still follow, have a catch up with what the Prophet Islam used to do. Some said it is not even important to speak Arabic. The Prophet Islam was only speaking Arabic because he's an Arab. Had it been his another language, he will also speak another language. So for that reason, you see some of the ulama who will do khutbah and no single Arabic. So don't be surprised, we can come here one day and we will just start our translation without even speaking any Arabic. So anyone you see happening, all stem from the fact that everybody is trying to what? Follow the Prophet ﷺ. Because they were like, the Prophet ﷺ only speak Arabic in khutbah, so how dare you begin to translate? Now if you said you will not translate, Nigerian people are not Arabs, so they only be listening and they cannot understand what you are saying. So for that reason, they now introduce the pre-khutbah. Then the other scholars now say, why are you introducing Bidya? This is Bidya. You can see? May Allah Azza wa Jalla grant us understanding of the deen. So anyone you see people doing, don't begin to castigate them. Do the one that you are satisfied with. Wallahu ta'ala alam. This is not a reason to cause any friction amongst the Muslims. Anyone that is okay for the Muslims, do it. If we come here and we continue reading Arabic, many people will not understand Arabic. Although some of them also said that it has to be in Arabic so that the Muslims will know that Arabic is their language. But no matter how we do it, there are still people who will not understand Arabic. And you cannot, because you are doing khutbah in Arabic, they will not, because of that, go and begin to learn Arabic. Allah Ta'ala Alam. So that is that. Any questions? Now. A bachelor is asking question regarding divorce. He asked a question that if you divorce a woman and you now want to take back your woman, what does it require? Do you need to do some sacrifice before you can take your wife? There is no need to make sacrifice. It's not compulsory you make any sacrifice. Except you just want to eat food or you want to kill a ram, you can call us and we'll come and eat with you. But the fact that you and your wife has reconciled and you want to celebrate it, so you want to do walima for bringing your wife back. So there is nothing wrong with that. It is you who decided that. But nobody can categorically state that before you can bring back your wife, you have to kill whatever or you have to make sacrifice. No. You understand? Just take your wife back, and that is sufficient. The same thing with what some people will say, that after, if you want to enter Islam, you have to kill ram. You don't need to kill ram to enter Islam. But if, because you enter Islam, you feed the gift of Allah, and you want to celebrate the gift of Allah, and you now kill and sacrifice for Allah Azza wa Jalla, no one can tell you that what you have done is haram, so long as you are making the sacrifice for Allah Azza wa Jalla. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Somebody has already asked. Walaikum salam. Ameen. Ameen. Can't hear you again. Now. Now, he is saying that some brothers and sisters, perhaps because they are just entering the fold of Sunnah, a lot of things are not actually clear to them. One thing I will advise such brothers and sisters is try to be somebody who used to ask questions. If there's anything that you do not understand, it becomes surprising to you. Ask question. Do you understand? Fas'alu ahla zikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. So you should ask question so that you'll be enlightened. So regarding the issue of Aqdun Nikah is where you tie the knot of marriage. And it is not necessary that every single individual in the society must be aware that you are married before marriage can be said to be done. I hope you are understanding that. In fact, somebody could even marry here and I will not even be aware. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw Abdurrahman bin Auf, and looking at Abdurrahman bin Auf, there is a way he kicked up on that particular day, like somebody who is married. So he now asked him, Abdurrahman bin Auf, is it that you are married? He said yes. So Bimana, Abdurrahman bin Auf married even without the awareness of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Perhaps he just went to visit somebody. For example, there was a day we went to Ijapisa. And as I was going, I was hoping that if they give me wife there, I will marry. Unfortunately, they did not give me wife. So I didn't mean they give me wife there, I will marry. You now be hearing, who is that sister that is following Amir? That is my wife. On this particular matter. You understand? So you may not be aware. So all you just need to do is to ask questions. I see that this brother and this brother has been moving. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Then yes, it's what you are thinking. Yeah, they are married. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Can you give zakat to a non-Muslim? Can you give zakat to a non-Muslim? Yes, only if there is no Muslim. Next question. I hope that answers the question.
Can the person sell food during the daytime of fasting?
Please, before I move on, regarding the question I quickly answered just now, I mean the Muslim should be given priority. That is what I mean. So, but if there is no Muslim, then we can definitely extend hand. Wallahu ta'ala. Now, you said, and give it to a non-Muslim that you can bring in, that you can soften his mind to Islam. Don't give it to somebody that after he finish eating your food, you will now have the mind to come and insult our religion. Now. Sell. Yes, you can sell food. He's asking that can somebody sell food during the daytime of fasting? For example, some of these are sisters who are in catering, whatever, they're in restaurant business. Of course, it doesn't mean that because Ramadan has set in, you cannot actually do your business again. But be very, very careful not to make mistake of eating your food. Because sometimes you may forget that we are in Ramadan. Because if you go to, as we are still in this fasting, if you go to where they are selling food, you will not even know that there is Ramadan. And there is a way they can prepare food before you know it. You don't even know how your hand went and touched it. Before you know it, it is already in your mouth. So you have to be extra careful so that you will not be tempted to eat in the daytime of Ramadan. Somebody is saying that is it permissible for a man to eat his fiancé food for iftar or sahur, although they are not living together? Or is it permissible for the fiancé to bring iftar food for the man? Sidi, who are you? What is the meaning of fiancé? I don't know the meaning of fiancé. What is the meaning of fiancé? Okay. I don't know the meaning of fiancé. I want somebody to tell me the meaning of fiancé. Boyfriend and girlfriend. Is boyfriend and girlfriend fiancé? You know, some of these English words, if you do not actually understand what it means, you just go and give any answer. Somebody you want to marry and they have not actually given you the wife. So can the person now start cooking for you to break fast and to open fast? Who used to cook for you before that woman came in? Let the person continue for now. Be patient till you marry the fiancé so that you can continue enjoying her food. Don't be in a rush to quickly start enjoying her food now, because you may enjoy her food and it will push you to enjoy her body. You understand? So you have to be very, very careful. So you try to put some barrier. Since you are yet to be married to her, put a barrier. You understand? It's very, very important. But if she gives you food, we are not saying that eating that food is haram. Nobody can say it's haram. But we are telling you that that relationship, you have to be very careful with it. Because before you know it now, she brought food. As the food is entering your medulla oblongata, then you begin to do medulla oblongata. You just be misbehaving. And you forgot that you are not yet married. So I will advise that if you can keep away from each other till the marriage time comes, that is the best, in order to avoid some unforeseen and embarrassing situation. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. We are stopping here today. Tomorrow is the general iftar, and we are inviting the general public to join us in our general iftar. Our general iftar is going to be in the front here, in our Eid ground. In our Eid ground. And please, we see anybody urinating in our Eid ground, drive that person away from that place. Inshallah, that is what we are going to be using tomorrow after Suratul Subuhi. For those who are still very, very strong, who will not be defeated by sleep, we'll quickly see how we can arrange that place so it can be okay before evening. Our sisters, please turn hand for tomorrow's food. I trust you people. May Allah is our affairs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.